Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So, as we know, Series 27 American Automotive for Forza Horizon 5 has officially gone live, and it introduces 8 American cars that all players can earn through the festival playlist. Now, the cars includes a mix of new to Forza cars like the Plymouth Belvedere, Lucid Air Sapphire, to really cool returning cars that we haven't seen in years like the Lincoln Continental. However, in my opinion, for majority of the cars introduced in Series 27, like the Nova Supersport, Firebird, GTO Judge, these returning cars really should have been in Horizon 5 from the beginning, seeing as how they were already featured back in Horizon 4. But let's face it, due to how modern games with live services are, this isn't really going to change. I just wished if Playground Games wanted to recycle or drip feed returning content, they could make things a little more exciting by exploring the huge catalogue of cars they've featured throughout the entire Forza franchise, and perhaps reintroducing them into their current titles, much like the 1962 Lincoln Continental. So in today's video, let's take a look at 8 returning cars that would have been great for Update 27 in Forza Horizon 5. Starting off with number 1, the Ford GTX-1. Only ever featured once back in Forza Horizon 1 on the Xbox 360, the Ford GTX-1 was truly a special car. Originally created as a one-off show car for the SEMA event in 2005, it garnered so much attention and interest that it would lead to the car being produced in limited numbers. What's important to note is that Ford themselves did not make these from factory. A man by the name of Mark Gerish, owner of Gennady Design Group, was the true genius behind this, and with the assistance from Ford and Shelby America, they were able to fulfill all 100 orders within the span of 2 years. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen this car return, as it does feature a customized interior, race seats, upgraded engine, to so much more compared to the regular Ford GT. And did you know, within the hidden folders of Forza Horizon 5, a properly detailed thumbnail of the GTX-1 was found almost as if it was ready to be featured in the game. Update 27 should have been it. Number 2, the Shelby 1000. If there ever was one recycled car that the Forza Horizon community would have loved to have seen back for the American Automotive Update, it's this, the 2012 Shelby 1000. Prior to Series 27 being revealed, based on the comment section on my videos at least, this was the most popular existing cars that you guys wanted to see, and I can't believe Playground Games didn't bring this back. Now, much like the Ford GTX-1, the Shelby 1000 was first introduced back in Forza Horizon 1 and then went for a near decade-long hiatus until it made its triumphant return in Forza Horizon 4 near the end of the game's life cycle in Update 32. Will this Shelby 1000 have the same fate with Forza Horizon 5? I mean, who knows, but maybe if we are lucky enough, we may even get the 2018 model, which I know would be a car that's new to Forza, but in my opinion, does look better than the 2012 version. But what do you guys think? Number 3, the Ford SVT Cobra R. To think that we had an American automotive update without arguably one of the most popular American cars known worldwide, the Ford Mustang, is a little bit upsetting. I know many of you watching were kind of hoping for the new 2024 Ford Mustang GT to be introduced, but because it wasn't, I'm sure a returning Ford Mustang from the franchise that also wasn't featured in Horizon 4 would have made for a good substitute. So this particular one I'm driving right now is the 1995 Ford SVT Cobra R. Currently in Forza Horizon 5, we have both its successor and predecessor, so to see this would have completed the nice trinity. But for some reason, the 95 Cobra R doesn't seem to like being in the Horizon series, only appearing sporadically in Forza Horizon 1 and Horizon 3, despite being in Forza Motorsport 4 all the way through to Motorsport 7. In my eyes, certainly a missed opportunity to bring this pony car back. Number 4, the SSC Ultimate Arrow TT. So, before the Bugatti Veyron Supersport claimed the title of being the fastest production car in the world back in 2010, this SSC Ultimate Arrow was the previous title holder, achieving a top speed of 257 miles per hour. I mean, that number is insane, even for today's standards, but this was 13 years ago when automotive engineering and technology was not as advanced. But does all that really matter when the Arrow is equipped with a 6.3 litre twin-turbo V8 producing 1287 brake horsepower? Probably not. And as I've said in the past, I truly believe that throughout the life of Forza Horizon 5, Playground Games should introduce cars that can beat the fastest top speed car to give players something fun and exciting to discover. Imagine, for Series 27, the long-awaited SSC Ultimate Arrow TT, which was last seen in Forza Horizon 1, is now back, and when fully maxed out along with the right tune, it can reach a top speed of over 320 miles per hour, beating the current king in Horizon 5, the Koenigsegg Jesko. Number 5, the Saline S281. Now, we know for this update, Playground Games dropped yet another car pack which included a very quick Saline S7LM. But if we go back far enough, Forza used to have this Saline, which was essentially a modified Ford Mustang. And I'm including this car in today's list, not so much because I believe it should have been in update 27, but more so for players who perhaps didn't know that this car was indeed in the Forza franchise. First appearing in the original Forza Motorsport back in 2005, this car was last featured in Forza Motorsport 4, and what's sad is, during those times, Turn 10 really embraced pre-tuned or aftermarket cars. On top of that, from Forza Motorsport 2 through to Motorsport 4, we even got the S281E, which was essentially a 550 brake horsepower 5th generation Mustang with Saline's fingerprints all over it. Perhaps some of you watching never played an older Forza title, but those games really did have some unique vehicles. Number 6, the Chrysler 412 concept. Speaking of unique cars, this is a supercar concept developed by Chrysler as a design and engineering statement for their brand, telling the entire automotive world that, hey, we can make cars with the best of them. Now, although the engine itself wasn't designed and built from America, it did borrow a 6-litre naturally aspirated V12 from Mercedes, which Chrysler would then add quad turbos to it, producing 850 brake horsepower in 2005. I know in 2023 that doesn't sound all that impressive, but for a car that's nearly 20 years old, those numbers were unheard of. Now sadly, this car never went into production and was only ever seen in the original Forza Motorsport and Forza Motorsport 2. Thankfully, many of you haven't forgotten about this legendary concept, and right now sits at 352 votes over on the Forza official suggestion hub to bring this back. Number 7, the Dodge SRT4 ACR. When we think about American cars, it's usually muscle cars that are heavy with big horsepower, racing in a straight line, and although that has changed throughout the recent years with many huge American automotive brands producing these incredibly quick supercars, we often forget that America also has some of the coolest tuner cars as well. And what more of a better example than the Dodge SRT4 ACR? Look, I'm not going to call this the Dodge Neon, as apparently it doesn't fit the bill, but this front-wheel drive 230 brake horsepower turbocharged menace was the ideal car for anyone who loved the idea of modifying their own vehicle and wanted something from America. Now unfortunately here in Australia we never got these, but I can only imagine what the rivalry was like out on the streets, especially with the Honda boys. I know there is a cult following with these cars, and what's interesting is that despite this car being featured from Forza Motorsport 4 through to Motorsport 7, not once did it ever get featured in a Forza Horizon game. I wonder why that is. Number 8, the Dodge Viper Competition Coupe. Now, I first knew about this car back in Gran Turismo 3 when it was called the Dodge Viper GTSR concept, and I distinctly remember this car because as a little kid I was like, wow, this kind of looks like a Viper, but at the same time it's a lot bigger and it also has that massive rear wing too. And when I saw this car again later in the original Forza Motorsport, it brought back some cool memories. Now, this version that is drivable from Forza Motorsport 1 through to Forza Motorsport 4 is the unmarked race version, and for whatever reason has kind of fallen off from Turn 10 and Playground Games' radar. Certainly another car that would have been incredible to see in Series 27. But anyways, if you guys had to choose one returning American car for Series 27, what car would it be? Share us your choices down in the comment section below, as I do read all of them. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Forza related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.